Good morning and welcome to this episode of Pastor's Ponderings podcast, July 21st. We're continuing our summer series, Summer Spiritual Practices. And today we're going to focus on slowing down, something we all need to do. Slowing down. What does it mean to slow down? Lose velocity, move more slowly and carefully, become slower, proceed more slowly. It implies a reducing of speed, becoming less tense and restful, more restful, taking one's ease. Isn't that what summer's all about? Doing things differently, slowing down, getting away from the norm, the hecticness of the other 9 months of the year or so. Does that really happen? It's something to be intentional about, not just during the summertime, but we're practicing it now so that we can apply it each week and each month throughout the year. A time to relax and decompress, unwind and loosen up, unbend, veg out, vegetate, engage in passive reflection, breathing slowly and deeply as we come into the presence of God and invite God's presence into our life, our here and now. So slowing down as a summer spiritual practices is to be intentional about setting aside some time where you just relax and think about the joy of God, taking in your surroundings with an eye to the people around you, the people in your lives, your friends, your family, your relationship with God, your relationships with others. As a summer spiritual practice, it's a time to live and breathe, to ponder life and the joys therein, a time to breathe in refreshing air. Might not be able to do that outside when it's 95 degrees and the heat index is 100 or above. But taking time to breathe, if not literally, then figuratively. It's a time to reflect on people and places that come to mind from the events of the day or the events of the week. It can be a time to write a reflective prayer, putting your thoughts into words on paper, and then praying them aloud to the God who hears. You can always invite other people to join you in that prayer, to join you in that prayer time, to join you in writing a prayer and sharing them together via Zoom or across the driveways in whatever way it is. The summer spiritual practice of slowing down is finding joy in God's beautiful world. It's dry outside, but it's still beautiful. Even though the grass isn't real green, it's dirty and dusty in a lot of places. The leaves have even lost their luster because there's a layer of dust and pollen on them instead of clean and shiny and green. It's taking time, though, to ponder the beauty in the here and now, in this moment, in this day, regardless of what's taking place. Find joy in God's beautiful world. Spend some time outside. Take a barefoot walk across your yard. Watch out for bees and anything else that you might be leery of. The summer spiritual practice is about embracing our limits of time and energy and weather. When we slow down, we can embrace those limits. I know in April it rained, seemed like every single day. You couldn't plan anything because the expectation for rain was above 50%. And now it's the opposite. It's dry. We can get outside, but it's too hot to do anything. But taking time early in the morning, taking time in the evening as the sun sets to enjoy that moment, to slow down and be at peace. It's also looking at what we can and can't do. Not so much what I didn't get done today, but look at what you did do and what you did accomplish. That allows you to slow down. Tomorrow's a new day. Someone taught that we are to look at the day's tasks that we completed, and those must have been the most important things. Even though we keep adding to the list gets longer instead of shorter. It seems like there's always things that we carry over to the next day. Sometimes we find blessings in those events and situations and things we did today, though. Slowing down allows us to do that. Practice the wisdom of small beginnings. Put one foot in front of the other, one step at a time. Sometimes those steps are small and slow. Sometimes they're intentional. Sometimes we have to do A, B, and C before we can do D and E. We can't jump ahead. Slowing down allows us to see that it needs to be done this way, that I have to do this, this, and this first. And I do it because I want to. We could sulk in despair because we didn't accomplish what we wanted to today, or we could take steps so that we'll accomplish what we need to today. Sometimes it's a matter of just getting started. And it's okay to be slow in getting started some days. Part of that's slowing down. Some mornings we just need that little extra time. Don't just plan to do something. What would you like to do today? But ask yourself, how can I accomplish these goals today and this week and this month? Before the summer ends, what do I want to do? What steps do I need to do to take it? Do a little bit of planning, but make sure in your planning you allow for unforeseen circumstances, new things that rise. Take some time to read a book. Reading is a spiritual practice. Paul told Timothy to bring the cloak he left in Troas and bring with you the books and the parchments. 2 Timothy 4:13. This was while he was in prison at Rome and was facing the death penalty, and he wanted to continue to read, to learn, to grapple with the things of God. The Bible commends to us reading. Reading is a discipline of our Christian life. Obviously, we think about reading the Bible, but reading any book about God, Christ, Christianity, any Christian literature, that is true, based on the things we want to hear, can lead us to better reading of the Bible. So spend some time reading. Make it part of your devotion time. One of the things that helped me in my devotional time was to include a time of reading, a book I wanted to read. Educational materials, being a better leader, a better pastor, theological things, topics, subjects that I was interested in at the time that were relevant to the community and the situations at the moment. That helped me to focus and spend some time in that devotional time. Reading is a means God uses to grow us in godliness. And it leads us to reading the Bible. Last thing to consider as we slow down is to spend some time drawing. Now, most of us will say, I don't know how to draw, I can't draw, I'm not very good at drawing. But just spend some time doodling your thoughts, doodling and writing out even your thoughts, your ideas about God, your experiences of God each day. So what I want you to do today is to pick a color, one color, crayon, marker, pencil, pen, whatever it is that you have handy. Pick one color that speaks to you, one piece of paper. Spend a few moments thinking about the work of the Holy Spirit in your life. And then using only 5 lines, draw a representation, a picture of the Holy Spirit working in your life. Okay, so we're reflecting, we're meditating, we're slowing down, we're thinking about what God is doing, what the Holy Spirit is doing, where we've seen God at work in our lives. We're choosing one color tool, and we're only going to use 5 lines to draw it. Spend some time attempting that and see what God is showing you. Be persistent. It takes time to develop a habit. and it takes discipline. Don't get discouraged if you didn't slow down today. Give yourself credit. Take a deep breath. Put it on your agenda on your to-do list tomorrow. Make a plan for making that happen. Share with others, your family, friends, children, grandchildren, and enjoy the practice of slowing down.